No, I've started this video 2 or 3 times, and I wandered off my path because when you have horses that they race bad. Supermind was a winner tonight. You don't get beat off that trip. And it's not like you can say, well, maybe he doesn't belong. Of course he does. He raced tremendous his last start. First over, trots in 56. He belongs with these horses. You don't lose off that trip. Now you can say he had the ear hood on and maybe he didn't race good in the front, or geez, last time we raced him at Northfield, he wasn't any good either. We could talk about all that. There's no specific reason this horse raced bad tonight. I already answered one of them. We scoped Supermind and he scoped great. Nothing found under scope. I trained him 3 days ago. He trained great. I watched his body language in the post-parade and the warm-up. I sat behind him. He seemed great. You know, we had a couple of high liver counts over the last month. And we go through this. Everybody goes through this from time to time. And somebody asked me, well, why is it just us? Well, it isn't just us. It seems like it's just us because I'm reporting it to you. But if you got to hear honest-to-goodness reports from every trainer every night on every horse that raced flat or poor, you would see a correlation. You know, when you have horses that race bad, there's only so many things it can do, right? Bleeding, mucus, tie up. As far as blood work is concerned, the tie up and the liver counts are two of the major contributing factors to horses racing poorly right now across the board everywhere. And I appreciate it. Listen, I've got hundreds of links from people over the last 3-4 years. Try this product, try that product. I'm telling you, this is great for GGT. My buddy said this worked great. We've tried them all, right? We had good luck with some of the medications. But if we draw that blood and it comes back to GGTs are a little high, from this point forward, every horse in our barn will be treated aggressively for any sort of liver issues because it has to be present, has to be here. You know, no vet will tell you exactly what caused it. Oh, it could be the hay. We've gone through this before. If we have high GGTs in Pennsylvania and Ohio and once in a while in Ontario, and when we had horses in Australia, into Australia, it's not the hay because they're all getting different hay. Same thing with the feed, the shavings, the water. When you have them jumping everywhere and everybody's using different shavings, different feed, or different hay and hay cubes. You know, honestly, this is why we switched to hay cubes 7 years ago to begin with. Was because I just did not trust the hay that we were getting. Looks fine, horses are eating it, but we just didn't trust it. We still have them all on hay cubes here. They get both here, hay and hay cubes. Is it a virus? Is it a fungus? Is it I don't know. I have no idea. You literally have a stroke trying to figure out what is causing these high liver counts. And these aren't astronomical, right? There's a couple of times we had some high ones. I remember Spitfire a couple of years ago had one that was just gigantic high. And an old horse that we had a million years ago, Oh So Pine, we drew his one time, gigantic high. Like these were high counts. But we haven't had, these are like, I told you about a liver count of, who was it in Pennsylvania recently? It was 0 to 29, they come back 44. You're not talking about, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. Something caused the miles tonight. Now, the other thing is it was 92 degrees when they raced. Their best race was arguably their last race, and it was chilly that night. Is it allergies? Now you're talking. Could be that. Still have to ask the same question we do with everybody. Everybody's breathing the same air. So before I start, you know, at some point this evening, the two biggest things you have to do is scope them. They scope fine. Draw their blood. What is going on and what happened tonight is in their blood. The answer is there. I don't know if it's liver. I don't know if it's sickness. I find it hard to believe it's sickness. You'd think you would have saw something under scope. The body language of these horses led me to believe they were ready to rock tonight in the post-parade. If you'd asked me if both of them, like the rail horse, him with Uncle Danny, looks like the best. You know, maybe leave out, a couple make breaks, scab a 4 or 5. If he's really good, who knows? I'm in a good spot getting into the last turn. I come back to the outside while the horse in the 2-hole was backing up. The horse was very vulnerable first over. If we throw an honest to goodness 28-3, 28-4, then we're second. I suspect. But that didn't happen. Danny just kind of fizzled. Just kind of fizzled out. And Supermind, I honestly have no idea what happened. You don't lose. You don't lose that race. As I said before, you asked me at the quarter pole, hey, what do you think? How's the race going? I'm a winner. Don't worry. You just don't lose with that trip. They stack 3-4 high in the last turn. You drop the hammer. You're gone. You win by 2 lengths. Easy peasy. Race is over. But that's racing. So we'll draw the blood tomorrow and see what happens. Both horses mechanically were sound. If you watch their body language, if you watch the simulcast, I know many of you do, you saw the same thing I did. Very comfortable, very confident. But it was a horse race. You know, Uncle Danny at 9-2 was maybe an overbet from post 6 with those horses. Supermind, I thought everything would go exactly how it did except for the outcome. So a little disappointed riding the rodeo tonight, Prospect Series. You know, you get away third in behind 2 favorites. You either overpower them and win, you finish beside them or you're close, or you level off and finish 5th. And that's what happened. Decent filly, but there's a lot of decent fillies in Ontario. So how do we manage her 2026 season? Because if we keep going to the well, she's going to end up getting put away angry. I would say no more than 1 or 2 more starts for riding the rodeo after tonight, and quite frankly, put her in where she can win her next start. In Scioto, she's been knocking on the door a couple of times. She needs victory, and then put her away. That's what I would like to see from riding the rodeo. And Rico Tubbs looked a little peggy to me up front, like he was a little pinchy tonight. Ronnie Wren did a great job. If you watch closely, the V Martingale broke on that horse tonight. I couldn't figure out what was hanging off him. Well, the V Martingale keeps his head down because he'll throw his head and be rude, and he really wasn't being rude tonight. So it didn't really play a role, but it was broken. So that keeps the lines down and snaps to the Buxton, keeps him from rooting his head. He must have ripped his head going on the track or something, or going up to the gate and pulled it apart, broke it. It didn't matter. It didn't play a role in him losing the race. Ronnie drove the horse very smart. Trotted the last turn good, but when you watch when he comes out of the last turn, he puts a couple little steps in. Looks like his feet or his knees are bothering him a little bit. He's grown up quite a bit. He's a big, growthy colt. He has to put in an honest effort. He does race better off a helmet because he's better with a target in front of him, rather than just saying, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? He needs to finish off his mile. So I think it was a combination of, 1, needs a little maintenance work done, and 2, probably put him in a spot where he could soften and get beat, and he did. But he did the right thing. I think Ronnie gave the horse a 10 out of 10 drive. The horse probably gave a 7.5 out of 10 effort, maybe an 8. It wasn't a bad effort, but he's got to finish off with authority. You know, you guys hear me say all the time, I love a merciless victory, because that's what happens when you don't have that merciless side to you. Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Oh, I held on. Oh, I got beat at the wire. He didn't race bad. In fact, he raced better than anybody tonight. So Uncle Danny was a beaten third, but quarter of a length, 57-3, raced good. Rico Tubbs. Uncle Danny was a flat 5th, probably tried him 59. Supermind was flattest of all. I think he was 6th, wasn't he? Yeah, I think he was. He was terrible. And riding the rodeo, first over again, not really her forte anyway. She's a nice filly, but 1 more start and probably put her away. So, not the night I wanted. If I had looked at this, which I have, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, riding the rodeo 1, 2, 3. Supermind was going to win. Rico Tubbs should have been 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and Uncle Danny probably snag a 4 or 5. It was right with a couple of them, but certainly not right the way I wanted to be. Now I'm going to get up tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to head to the Red Mile. There's no point in me going to Kentucky tonight. I thought about it. What would be the point? I just don't see it. So I'm going to get up tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. No Starbucks today, by the way. Still trying to shed these last couple of pounds. But I'll have one tomorrow morning, I can tell you that. Degas, Zena Kemp, Jailbird Jog, Jolene Hall. Another day like today, optically coming in, we have a shot with all 4 of these horses. I don't care what the odds are on Jailbird Jog. She's good enough to win that, or any of the other races with any of the other fillies. She's as good as any horse in Kentucky. That's my 2 cents. I believe that. Degas, Zena Kemp, and Jolene Hall are all in spots to do well. Tomorrow night, Freedom Hall's a little short, so I'm curious how she's going to do. Aunt Lily is obviously in a good spot. Aaron Merriman, right guy for the job, 5-2. And JK Victory, 7-2. And Tyler, I love the way Tyler drives this horse. Lets him rock. I like it. I think he's gonna drive this horse well tomorrow. We have a shot with every single horse we put on the track tomorrow. But if I'm going to be completely honest, we did today also. So good luck to everybody tomorrow. You know, it wasn't the night we wanted for racing tonight. I think Danny should probably visit the Buckeyes, I guess. After his last race, I just felt that he was really coming around. And I think he can hang with most of those horses. But again, hang, right? He got a 5th tonight. He's got a 4th and 5th. Probably getting close to where he'd get into contention to be in the Sire Stakes Consolation, which would be right up his alley. We got to keep an eye on those points, though. And I think he should delve into the Buckeye. Let's see where Supermind goes from here. I love this horse, and I think he's a much better horse than maybe he alluded to tonight. I tell you what he is going to be. I think he's going to be a killer 3-year-old too. He's got the right attitude. I don't know what went on tonight. Mechanically, something went on, but as I said, they're not going to be able to hide from it. We'll find out with their blood work tomorrow. It'll be drawn. I'll have the results on Tuesday. There's no point in me commenting more about that until Tuesday. And then again, as I said, riding the rodeo, maybe one more start. Rico Tubbs just got to keep on top of those, manage those feet and knees. I guarantee you they're hurting him a little bit. And if he's showing it in Poconos, you can be sure they're hurting him a little bit. So we got to stay on top of that. I'd rather not put the flip-flops back on him as he heads to... He's got 2 wins too. I'll tell you what. He's supposed to head to Philadelphia. May not go. We've never once had good luck in Philadelphia. Not one time. So he must have won 2 at the Meadows. Poconos was tonight. There must be another one in Philadelphia. Honestly, I just skip Philadelphia. See what else is hit there for Rico Tubbs. We haven't had good luck in Philadelphia since Lawmaker, I don't think. Anyway, that's what's up tonight. That's what's up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a very, very big day. Tomorrow can help erase some of the scars and pain from today. But we got 7 going behind the gate. And I expect a good effort from all 7. Take care. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great rest of your night. All 3 hours of it.